nuts and bolts, circuits and smiles. Nuts and bolts.
Hi there, Transformers fans and subscribers, portudork here, and this time I'm doing another video review. And this time I'm doing a video review of Ariel Lemon's Designs Arcee blasters and Arcee spider stingers. So this review is kind of a 2-for-1 because I feel like these two sets kind of go together. But let me go ahead and first start by grabbing the items that you'll receive. These are two different products, so you order them separately that way. These are the guns that are made for the Transformers First Edition Arcee figure, although as I will show you, they also work just fine with the Robots in Disguise version. Let me go ahead and open these up. And they normally come together in a sprue, but obviously to learn about the figure and everything, I had to already take them apart and know how to use them. So these are in the Frosted Ultra Detail material, but these are basically the weapons. If I zoom in real close here, you can see some of the fine detail on them. It's got some really cool tech design here on the barrel tip. It's got lots of raised edges, and just it's got a good aesthetic that I think matches well with the Prime design. And what you'll see here is the way that they attach. There's a hole here, and there's a peg here. The peg goes into the hole on the underside of the Arcee's, on Arcee's arms on both toys. And then depending on which toy you have, the way they attach to the vehicle mode's a little bit different. So let me go ahead and start off with the first edition first. So if I grab Arcee here and bring her in, you're well aware of these two pegs here that exist. So what you would want to do is take the original swords that came with Arcee, and those swords have a peg right here. So what you can do is you go ahead and plug the swords into Arcee. If I don't drop them and make a mess of it. There we go. Now I've got it right. So basically you want the swords plugged in so that the peg is back here, which I believe is the correct method for the transformation. But then basically what you do is you take the hole here, and you can plug it right into the weapon there, and then you get this kind of nice, I believe Ariel describes it as like a Moto Terminator look with the gun facing forward, and that's pretty cool. It allows her to use the weapon in both modes. But if you also have the spider stingers, and let me set Arcee down for a minute, I'll go ahead and open up the spider stingers here. And I'm going to lose the light while I'm at it. Let me bring in the spider stingers here. And you can see the spider stingers have these holes in the pegs, which would allow you to take this, remove it, remove the original sword, and then take the spider stinger and plug it into one of the pegs that the original swords went into, like that. And then you can take the weapon and you can attach it to the top peg of the spider stinger, and then you can have both weapons, both of the new weapons attached to the vehicle mode of Arcee. And this is for the first edition. So depending on whether you buy just the gun or the gun and the spider stinger, they can both attach to vehicle mode, no problem. Now let me go ahead and put that Arcee back, and I will grab the first edition. Now, for the first edition, things are a little bit different. Although there is still a peg there, the way that these guns are designed, the wheel gets in the way if you have just the guns, so that doesn't work. But if you have the original spider stingers, you can take them, plug them into one of the holes, like that, and that leaves you with a peg up, as you can see, which you can then take the weapons and peg into, and then you end up, for the first edition Arcee, with a front-mounted gun like that, and some blades on the wheel, which actually I think looks really cool. I think actually the blades on the wheel look really cool as sort of a front weapon for Arcee, regardless of the guns. But this is on the first edition, or sorry, on the Robots in Disguise Arcee's vehicle mode. So you can get an idea of how that looks. I think it looks really nice. So let me go ahead and remove those, and let me do a little bit of talking about the actual pieces themselves real quick here before I move on to how they look in robot mode. So let me do a quick rotation so you can kind of see how everything looks up close, which is nice. Sometimes a lot of people don't do this on the Shapeways items. You can see there's little holes kind of there for the barrels of the weapon, but that's really nice. And then here's one of the spider stingers. And I should point out I'm only showing one each here, but each set that you order does come with 2 of each. So 2 blades, 2 guns. So yeah, that's very nice. One thing I will point out with this particular item, very sharp edges. I've actually drawn blood with this particular piece, pushing a little bit too hard on it when I was trying to get it into the pegs for the first edition Arcee's arms. So be careful, be mindful, these are very sharp points if you get the Frosted Ultra Detail material. So yeah, let me go ahead and transform these 2 gals to robot mode, and I will show you how those attach to those figures. Be right back in just a moment. Alright, so we are back in robot mode, and now I can show you how these particular pieces work with the vehicle modes of these 2 figures. So first, let me start out with the guns. The guns work on both figures, if you were wondering, because they both have very similar arm joints. So let me go ahead and bring Arcee in here. And you can see Arcee's got a peg right underneath her arm on the first edition, and as I'll show you here in a minute, so does the Robots in Disguise one. And all you want to do is take the gun and plug it into that hole. And I will notice, I have noticed that the joint pegs for the first edition Arcee is a lot tighter with these items than it is for the RAD. Particularly if you get the Frosted Ultra Detail, be very careful with these blades. The struts that hold the blades to the pegs here are kind of thin, so on the Frosted Ultra Detail, very easily could snap. Since I got these pieces, Ariel's actually go ahead and adjusted the design and made a 1.6, I believe, version that has a little bit stronger struts that would probably be able to handle that better. So if you're getting these for the RAD version, these ones are fine. If you're going to go ahead and get them in Frosted Ultra Detail for the first edition, I would suggest getting the revised version of these, which I don't have yet. So, anyways, for the guns, you can see that basically they fit on like that. Let me go ahead and just so you can see what it looks like with 2 of them. I'll go ahead and attach the second gun here to the other peg. Because like I said, it's very tight fit. And there you can kind of get an idea of what the first edition Arcee looks like with both guns. It's pretty cool. Due to articulation, you can have them face forward, you can have them down to the side, you can undersling them, whatever you want to do. But they just, I think they look really nice. Much closer to the show than I would have expected for something that pegged on like that. But just, it's very well done. So let me go ahead and remove those, and we will get to discussing the spider stingers for the first edition. So I'm only going to show you one of the spider stingers here, and I'm not going to put it in all the way. I'm just going to barely fix it so it'll stay. So this is the look that you're going to get if you get the spider stinger for the first edition. Again, be very careful with this material. It can very easily snap. Ariel had mentioned his had snapped. One of mine had, although it was easy enough to repair with some super glue. I would probably recommend, if you're going to get these particular blades for the first edition, you go ahead and get them in like a White Strong Flexible or something like that, so that they will not break. As a comparison, let me go ahead and snap one of the blades onto the other arm that she comes with, and you can just see the huge size difference we're dealing with here. These ones much more show accurate size. The blades that Arcee uses on the show are actually very, very small. They're nothing like these giant monstrosities that we got beforehand. And then while I'm showing it too, actually I'll wait and I'll show the other blade that comes with the RAD one on her. But there you can get an idea and see the size difference, and just, these are really nice. The detailing on these spider stingers is really nice. You can see just there's kind of like a grain pattern on it. And it's done really well. Lots of tech details. I like it. So let me go ahead and very carefully remove this. And I just snapped it right on camera. And basically, this is what can happen. The piece just snapped right on camera. This is basically the same thing that happened before. I'm just going to have to re-glue it on and it'll be fine, but it's kind of unfortunate. Like I said, the first edition, I think because of that, you definitely need to just go ahead and order the revised version, or you need to order in white strong flexible. So let me go ahead and show you on the FE Arcee here. And you can see she has the exact same joints underneath. Just take the gun, go ahead and plug it in like that, and you can hear just how much more snugly these fit in on the Robots in Disguise version. They go in really well. Again, they look really nice. She's got her guns from the show, and it's just a really well done piece. I don't think it looks any better or worse on either version, although, like I said, the scare factor, at least if you're using the Frosted Ultra Detail, is much less on this particular toy. Everything fits really well in her joints, both modes. I don't know what it is with the peg details on the first edition. It's much tighter. So let me go ahead and remove those. And let me show you what the spider stingers look like on this one. So let me go ahead and take my spider stinger here, the one that is not broken, and just go ahead and plug it in. And you can see it fits really well. None of the issue getting it in like I had on the other one. And then as a comparison, she obviously comes with a blade weapon as well. And let me show you what the original blade weapon looked like. Plug that in, and here you can kind of see the size comparison between the two. I actually really like the scale on this for the Robots in Disguise version a little bit better. I think the swords might be just a little bit small for the first edition, but definitely much closer than the ones that comes with the stock. On the RAD, I think it's just perfect. It's just the perfect size, and it looks really nice. So yeah, my final thoughts here as I put these guys back. Let me go ahead and bring the guns back there. My final thoughts on these pieces are they're both great pieces, but like I said, on the spider stingers, I think there's a quality issue in that if you get the Frosted Ultra Detail on the first edition figure, you're prone to snappage, as you saw happened right on camera. It's very easy to fix. The super glue puts on and it holds just fine. This piece here was actually repaired, and you can see it goes in just fine. Quality-wise, on these first spider stingers and the Frosted Ultra Detail, it's not great. The guns are perfect. If you're going to get the stingers, once again, I'm sorry for repeating myself, get the white strong flexible. Don't get the Frosted Ultra Detail. I will be getting a set of the Frosted Ultra Detail spider stingers in 1.6. Just to see if hopefully the structure has held up a little bit better, and maybe the pegs don't have such a problem going in and out. But like I said, I can repair these with super glue and they work just fine. Yeah. Thank you for watching my review, and keep an eye out. I will be having a Shapeways Starscream upgrade review coming very shortly as soon as I get the editing done, and look for that later in the week. Thanks.